Hello, everyone, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Welcome back to our podcast. We are absolutely thrilled to be back with you after what feels like an eternity since our last episode. It's been a long hiatus, but we are bursting with excitement to reconnect with all of you.
Right. And first and foremost, we want to express our deepest gratitude for your patience and continued support. We know it's been a long time since you've heard from us, and we apologize for the unexpected break. You know, life has a way of throwing surprises, but rest assured, we are back and ready to dive right back into the amazing world of podcasting.
Yeah, during our hiatus, we've been busy brainstorming and planning and crafting incredible content that we can't wait to share with you. We've been listening to your feedback, reading messages, and we've taken everything to heart. We want to thank you for the global support that we receive, because when we look at the map that shows us where people are listening into our podcast from, it was basically every continent, which is crazy. Of course, we got a ton of support from Region 11, Queens, Richmond Hill people. Yeah, we're really listening in New York. We also had a ton of listeners from in Toronto, Canada, London. We even had places like Germany and other places in Europe that we were surprised to see people listening in from. So we're really grateful for you guys and your listenership.
Yeah, shout out to all the Guyanese people around the world. Thank you to all of our listeners who, whether you're Guyanese or not, we appreciate you.
Yeah, and we're committed to delivering even more engaging, thought-provoking, and entertaining episodes that will keep you coming back for more. So this is just the beginning. But before we give details about what's to come, please allow us a chance to reintroduce ourselves and the podcast. So this is the GYaff with G.O.L.D.R.U.S.H podcast. So hi, my name is Sherida. I'm a Guyanese diasporan representing Region 5 in Guyana, GYaff. I work in the field of data and finance, and I am one of your podcast hosts.
My name is Afia. I'm also in the Guyanese diaspora representing Region 5 of Guyana, GYaff. I'm in the field of nursing, and I'm also one of the podcast hosts. So we mentioned this is GYaff with G.O.L.D.R.U.S.H. And to those who don't know what GYaff means, GYaff is a Guyanese word that means to talk or engage in conversation. Typically it's informal or making jokes, and you know how Guyanese people like to make jokes.
Big jokesters. So basically think of this podcast as a telephone line connecting community members with one another. So we can use this line to GYaff, as Afia just defined, and tell stories, to share important news and have conversations in a way that we haven't previously been able to do. So whether you live in Guyana or have never visited, want to connect with your culture and your people, or just want a good laugh, this show is for you. And also the show is for you if you're just Caribbean and you want to learn more about Guyanese people and Guyanese culture. But we want to hear the voices, especially of the people in the diaspora and the people living in Guyana. So Guyanese people living at home, please feel that this is a community platform for you as well. It's not just the diaspora.
Right.
This is a platform for us to communicate both sides with one another.
Yeah, and speaking of, communication and like the telephone line that Sherida mentioned, GYaff is the audible meeting ground for the G.O.L.D.R.U.S.H Association. So that's G.O.L.D.R.U.S.H is an acronym, and Sherida's gonna, let us know what that is.
Yeah. So G.O.L.D.R.U.S.H stands for Guyana's Overseas and Local Descendants Leveraging Resources and Unity for a Successful Homeland. It's an association that is basically the global community meeting ground for Guyanese people and members of the Guyanese diaspora. The purpose of the organization is to reconnect or introduce Guyanese immigrants and descendants to their homeland and heritage, and to contribute to the development of Guyana. So the organization strives to build a bridge between the diaspora and Guyanese people living in Guyana by building a relationship, having candid community conversations, leveraging resources, and educating one another. So all this for the unity and success of our homeland. And I know that I've said the word diaspora quite a few times, so I think we should remind everyone what that means.
Yeah. So, like Sherida mentioned, so a diaspora is a population that is scattered across regions which are separate from its geographic place of origin. So, for example, the Guyanese diaspora, that's people who most immediately identify with Guyana. So that's people all around the world who has ties and connections to Guyana, including people who are still in Guyana.
So just a point of reference, there are significant populations of Guyanese people in the United States and Canada, in the United Kingdom, the Caribbean, Trinidad, Tobago, places like that, and even in Suriname, Brazil, Venezuela, and the Netherlands. All these people make up the diaspora, but for the purpose of Gold Rush, when we use the word diaspora, we're talking about the entire community. And I know that's not technically correct, but we just want to be inclusive of the people who are living at home as well as the people who are not living in Guyana.
Mm-hmm. And for a fun fact, the Ministry of Home Affairs actually recognizes overseas births to children to Guyanese parents as Guyanese nationals. So whether you have one parent who's Guyanese or both of your parents, you can provide documents in order to receive citizenship for Guyana just for having Guyanese blood.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So go get that Guyanese birth certificate and be official.
Mm-hmm. Right. Dual citizenship.
Right.
Can brag about it.
And that's that on that.
That's right.
Yeah.
But enough about us and just chatting. Let's talk about you and what we're bringing for you. So you guys are incredible listeners. We've missed your enthusiasm, comments, and the sense of community that formed around this podcast. So in the coming episodes, get ready for news, nostalgia, captivating interviews, intriguing discussions, and explorations of so many important topics.
Yeah, so we do have a new upload schedule, a new episode schedule. So we'll be releasing podcasts monthly with the occasional breaking news recordings. So July 8th is going to be the formal July episode release date. And we have a bunch of collaborations coming up soon. So in the spirit of collaboration and just the spirit of the platform, if you feel compelled or want to be featured on the podcast, please send us any voice notes or just email us, and we'll be happy to include you and your opinions and your thoughts in the podcast.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. GYaff, this is for everyone in the Guyanese community. We want to hear from you, and we want you to get involved.
Exactly.
Okay? Because we wouldn't be able to do this without you guys. We want to be able to build community, communicate with you guys.
Mm-hmm.
So, without further ado, let's rekindle that podcast magic. Get comfortable, grab your favorite beverage. I have my Mobby here, and prepare to be entertained, educated. Wow, Sherida. Be inspired when you're here. We're thrilled to have you back with us, and we hope you're just as excited as we are to embark on this next chapter together.
Yeah, we're so excited. So welcome back to you guys, and we're excited to be here.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we're going to GYaff.
Yeah, we're going to GYaff later. Later.